All right. Khan, Shalom, 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 Israel. Shalom to the 12 tribes of Yasha. Giving, of course, all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh Ba'ashem, Mahashiach Yahweh Shah. That's all praises, honor, glorification unto the Most High God Yahweh. In the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah. This is Brother Yasha.
Brother AHBAYAH.
Khan, coming back, Shah, with yet another video through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Mahashiach Yahweh Shah, on this glorious Sabbath, right? Shabbat Shalom to all that's observing it today. All right. Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. And if you're not, still, mighty shalom, much love to y'all as well, So, Khan, so as you can see, we're going into he shall render unto every man according to his work. Right. And real quick, I just got put in the plug in. This is you most likely know this is Brother AHBAYAH, right? He's part of W5 Atlanta. All right. He has Instagram, all right, just a bio. He also has a YouTube. All right. And you can, look up the W5 Atlanta Instagram and YouTube. A lot of edification going on. Mighty brothers out there. So, hit them up whenever, right? Off to the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bash from Yahweh Shah. Right. Check out their videos. All right. But yeah, so let's go into, he shall render unto every man according to his work. Right. So let's get the classic precept. Right. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna kick it off with Psalm 62 and verse 12. Right. Let's go to Psalm 62 and 12. Right. Let's look at Psalms chapter 62 and verse 12. Right. It says, I'm gonna start at verse 11. Right. Yeah, I got to start at verse 10. Right. It says, trust not in oppression. So look, you can't trust in oppression. Right. Don't trust in oppression. All of you coons, okay, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, stop trusting in this man's society. Right. Stop trusting in America. Right? You lining up first to get the damn vaccine, right? Oh, Joe Biden, he got the vaccine, right? Watching the damn news, we as Americans need to be doing what we need to do, et cetera, et cetera. And then you coons go line up first to take the damn, the thing, right? You saluting the flag, right? When they tell you to stand up for the flag, you stand up happily, right? I pledge allegiance, right? No, look, don't trust in oppression, bro. Right? Says what? And become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. Right? God hath spoken once, twice have I heard this power, that power belongeth unto the Most High. So power belongs unto the Most High. Right? There's no power in your damn army. There's no power in you. Right? You don't have the power. The Most High has the power. He has all power. That's literally what omnipotent means, right? Verse 12, here's a point. Also unto thee, O Lord, belongeth mercy, for thou renderest to every man according to his work. So the Most High renders to every man according to his work. Whatever you put in, that's what the Most High is going to put out to you, right? You reap what you sow. That's how the Most High rolls. Con, you got it.
That's a good point. Before I go into my precept real quick, I was going to say, it was back in the world. I was at the football game, Friday night football game and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I'm dipping out, bro. Like it was before the game started. I don't really do that, gathering stuff. So I told this dude, I'm dipping out. So we was going up the bleachers, and they started having that what's called the Pledge of Allegiance. Then we go up the stairs, and these Edomites saying, they kind of try to rebuke us, talking about you're not going to what's it called, you don't do the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm like, come on, bro, just keep going. And then they started rebuking the other dude, my so-called homeboy. And then he stopped. And he started doing the Pledge of Allegiance, man. I just kept it going. So that was just a precept he was touching on. But I'm gonna get Galatians chapter 6 and verse 7, and it reads, "Be not deceived; God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So wherever you sowing on the earth, you're gonna reap that. You sowing apple seeds, you're gonna reap an apple tree, right? You sowing wickedness, guess what? You're gonna get destroyed. You sowing righteousness, you're gonna get everlasting life. You on fire, you're gonna get a fire deliverance. You being lukewarm, you're gonna get a lukewarm behind deliverance, man. Verse 8. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. If you sow into the flesh, you smoking weed, you pleasing the flesh, you're gonna reap corruption. You're gonna reap death, right? But he that soweth to the spirit shall of the spirit reap life everlasting. Because your spirit's everlasting. Your spirit doesn't die. Your spirit doesn't get what's called old and die. Your spirit is everlasting. The flesh is what dies. Verse 9, that's the point. And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So you're on fire. The Lord's not a man that's going to forget your labor. So if you're on fire, you're doing the things you need to do. Amen. Due season in a time appointed, you're going to reap everything if you don't faint, man. A lot of people that had good, treasure stored in heaven, but they fell out this thing, and that treasure was for naught. But Con, he got it.
Damn, that's right, man. Come on. Precept to what the brother's going into. This is the classic right here, man. All right. It's Revelation 22 and verse 12, right? I'm gonna just start at verse 11, because I just love this precept. Man, I just love all of these precepts, man. Right? It's he that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. So sometimes, man, we just gotta understand that, people in the world, if they don't get it, right, you telling them that they're Israelite, right? You're breaking it down to them, right? You're breaking it down. Hey, look, brother, Deuteronomy 20:68. Look, we're going under the curses. We're under the curses. This is us, right? You show them Isaiah 42:22, for this is the people robbed and spoiled, right? You're just repetitively, giving them the gospel, right? Because you care for him. You want him to be in this truth. You want him to experience the same things that you experience right now, right? It's like, you watching a movie. It's hella good, right? Like, damn, that's a good ass movie, right? And you want other people, right, to watch that same movie too, right? You want your homeboys to watch it. You want your family to watch it too, because it's a hella good movie, right? But and they're like, nah, we want to watch this, right? We don't want to watch this. So you've got ears to hear. You know what I'm saying, right? That's just an analogy that I heard, right? When it says he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. Just let them be in the world. If they want to be in the world filthy, just Sabbath breakers, fornicators, adulterers, right? Idolaters. If they want to be Catholics, just let them be Catholics, man. Right? And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. Right? So he now wants to keep the commandments. Hey, keep on doing that, man. Right? So here's the point, verse 12. And behold, I come quickly. Yahweh Shah, he's coming quickly. These prophecies are kicking off fast, man. Right? The time is moving, right? And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. So you got to decide, you got to make that decision, man, whether or not that reward is going to be good or bad, right? Because he's going to render unto every man according to his work, right? So this reward could either be good for you, it could be bad for you, right? If you're Salak, let's just link that up real quick. This is the book of Job, chapter 4, verse 8, right? Job chapter 4, verse 8. Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. So if you just wicked your whole life, you just wicked, not keeping the commandments, right? Not trying to listen unto the Most High, not trying to be humble, etc., etc. Hey, if you sow wickedness, you're going to get that back from the Lord, right? You're going to receive that evil, right? So you're going to be put to death when Yahweh Shah comes back, right? Or even before that, right? So he's going to render unto every man according to his work. You got to make that decision right now, whether or not that reward is going to be good or bad. Because Yahweh Shah, he's going to reward the good things unto his good servants. He's going to reward those evil things unto those that's not his servants, right? Come.
I'm gonna get Proverbs 22 and verse 8. He that soweth iniquity shall reap vanity, and the rod of his anger shall fail. So the Lord gonna come back and give every man according to their work shall be. You on fire, and next thing you know, you're a ruler of 10 cities. You was on fire, you only had a certain amount of knowledge, but you still did what you had to do. You're gonna be 5 cities. If you were slothful, you knew about Deuteronomy 28, you knew how to, go out and teach, and you still didn't do it, you're gonna reap destruction, man. Because the Lord's not dealing with someone who's someone's slothfulness, sowing iniquity. The Lord's not dealing with that. I'm gonna jump down to verse Proverbs 22 and verse 29. Is thou a man diligent in his business? So you see someone who's diligent in his business. You might see a CEO, he's diligent, always working. You try to call his phone, he's not answering. It's going straight to voicemail because he's busy, right? You see a football player, he's not answering the phone. Why not? Because, brother, he's out there practicing while you over here sitting on the couch. You see somebody that's good at teaching. They bring out all the precepts. They on fire. You try to call them. They get back with you, but at that time they don't they don't answer because they're on fire doing the work of the Lord, and you just idle, man. Right? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. Right? So these people who's sincere in this truth, who's pushing out this word, who got wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and sincere, they're gonna stand before princes, before kings. They're not gonna be standing before fools. You got a lot of people who's in this truth, they stand before fools because they're not really sincere in this thing. They don't really have the knowledge and understanding, right? So the Lord gonna come back. He's gonna raise up the people who's on fire, who's sincere in this thing, and they're gonna be standing before kings. Imagine standing before Abraham, before Isaac, before Jacob, before David, before Solomon, which is Yahushua, right? But come.
That's right, man. That's right. That's a reward too, right? Because guess where those mighty men are going to be at? In the top place in the kingdom, man. Right? They're going to be in the top rooms, right? The top palaces, right? They're going to be in the top, everything in the kingdom. These men, Abraham, right? Isaac, Jacob, right? The holy men like Noah, right? Et cetera, et cetera. These men are going to be in the top places. So if you're going to stand before them, that means that you're also going to be amongst these great men, right? You also are going to be called great, right? Let's get this, right? Let's go to the book of Matthew. It kind of reminds me of precept, right? Matthew chapter 5, and let's just start verse 17, right? It says, think not that I'm come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. So Yahushua clearly stated that he didn't come to destroy the law, right? Contrary to what people believe, a lot of Christians believe that Mahashiach Yahushua came to destroy the law. They say, now he came to fulfill the law. So by him keeping the law, that means we don't have to keep the law anymore. That's you might want to check with your psychiatrist to see if you have schizophrenia, because because one of the symptoms of having schizophrenia is not being able to have a linear logic, right? So you're not able to have a flow of being able to logically put forth your sentences and reason. Your reasoning is not there. So you might want to check with your psychiatrist about that, right? To fulfill the law just means to fulfill everything that was written about him, right? That's Luke chapter 24, verse 44, and Acts 3 and 18. Right, let's keep going. Matthew 5 and 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Right, so not one jot or one tittle, meaning not even one comma, shall pass from the law until all be fulfilled, and all has not been fulfilled yet. All right, because we're still in heaven and we're still on earth. Right, this is the same earth and heaven it was 2,000 years ago. Right. It's the same thing. Nothing has changed, right? We're not we're not under Yahweh's rulership right now, right? Yahweh's not ruling upon the earth right now, right? Verse 19. Whosoever, right here's the point, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven, right? That's the Most High, or that's Yahweh rendering unto every man according to his work. If you want to break the commandments, you want to teach men that, yeah, it's okay, right? You can break the commandments if you want. The law is done away with. You only have to keep the 2 commandments, right? If you teach men to do that, and you're being going the hell off, you're going to be called the least in the kingdom of heaven, right? Here's the flip side. But whosoever shall do and teach them, right? You're keeping the commandments to the best of your ability, and you're teaching the commandments, right? The same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. You're going to be called great. That's your reward right there. Being called great. Like the brother said, being a ruler over 10 cities, man. Like it says in the book of Luke chapter 19, right? So he's going to render unto every man according to his word. God, you got it.
Come, got another precept on that too. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24. And you can really start verse 42, but I don't want to be so long-winded. I'll start verse 44. And it reads, therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as you think not the Son of Man cometh. So the Lord going to come when you least expect it. When you're in the middle of committing that sin, when you're having the best time of your life, that's when the Lord going to come, man. Right? Who then, Salakia, who then is a faithful and wise servant whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household to give them meat in due season. So, Lord, he made you a ruler over the household. The master, he left the house. You got to be that servant, cleaning up the house, making sure everything's in order, right? Before the master gets back, man. Because when that master get back, you kicking back with your crusty behind toes on the sofa. Hey, all hell gonna break loose. You being slothful and lazy, right? Verse 46. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. So it's a blessing that the Lord, when he comes back, you on fire. You reading, you searching out the scriptures daily, right? You teaching, you fasting, you giving alms. It's a blessing when the Lord comes back and you doing something righteous, man. Right? It's a curse when the Lord comes back, you caught with your butt, with your pants pulled down, man. Right? You have ears to hear. Verse 47. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler of all his goods. So when the Lord comes back and he finds you so doing the things which you need to be doing as a servant of the Lord, as an unprofitable servant, he gonna make you ruler over all the things that you was what's called ruling over, man. You're gonna be a ruler over 10 cities. Right? You're gonna be known in the kingdom of heaven. You're gonna be sitting with David. You're gonna be sitting with Yahushua. You're gonna be sitting with the 12, right? I'm gonna keep going. Verse 48. Salaki for being long-winded as well. But verse 48. But and if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming. Because you got a lot of people, the Lord's not coming back. I think 1,000 more years Babylon got. Go ask Egypt if they had 1,000 more years, man. The Syrian captivity. Go ask them they had 2,000 more years, right? They didn't. Go even ask the Roman Empire if they had 800 years to go. Man, no, the Lord took them out the way. Now they in the dust. Verse 49. And shall begin to smite his fellow servants and to eat and drink with the drunken. The Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So this thing right here, the Lord gave you two examples. When the Lord comes back, he's going to find one servant doing what he needs to be doing, on fire, making videos, teaching, reading, fasting, praying, right? He's going to make him ruler over his goods. Then the other person, when the Lord comes back, is a just balance. He's going to be a hypocrite. He's not doing what he needs to be doing. He's slothful, lukewarm. The Lord, he's going to, put him to death. So, hey, man, whatever you put out and whatever you put in, that's what you're going to get out.
That's right.
Or vice versa.
God, that's right, man. That goes with anything too, Okay. That goes literally with anything, because we know the Most High, he's fair, right? He's fair. You see the brother that's just obsessed with basketball, right? He's just obsessed with basketball. He's watching basketball in his downtime. How we watch the videos. He's just watching it like this. He probably taking notes, right? Like, damn, really being analytical with it. You know what I'm saying? He eat, drink, wake up, basketball, right? That's it, right? He's just obsessed with it all the time, right? That's what he's thinking about, right? He loves playing basketball, and he goes to the gym, right? Et cetera, et cetera. He's putting all this work in. So, hey, guess what? He may not be the most talented player in the world, but guess what? He's going to be up there, right? Because he's putting in so much work. And so the Most High, from what I've seen, right? From what I've seen, when you put in the work, the Most High will give that onto you, right? When you put in the time, you put in the effort, the Most High will give it onto you, right? So he's fair like that, right? That's why he's so good at being decisive. He's so good at being the devil. He put so much work and effort into it, and he's doing a very, very good job at being a goddamn devil, man. Right? So, but yeah, I'm gonna get this right. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 10, right? For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Mahashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. So we all got to appear before Mahashiach in that day, man. Right? Me, AHBAYAH, right? Anybody. I don't care if you're a damn CEO or a damn poor man, right? we all have to appear before the judgment seat Mahashiach in that day, man. Right? We all got to answer to Yahweh Shah, right? And he's going to be looking at our works, and he's going to be able to judge according to the books, like it says in the book of Revelation. According to the books are going to be open, right? He's going to judge us according to everything that's written therein, right? He's going to analyze us, right? And say and judge us worthy or not to get the kingdom, right? That's going to happen. It says, all things done in his body, according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad, right? Whether it be good or bad. You see that? Because guess what? The Most High has our sins written with a pen of iron, like it says in Jeremiah 17:1. But he also has every one of your good works. Like it says in Hebrews 6:10, the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your labor of love, right? And then he knows your good works. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta understand that. You got it.
Kind of got appreciate with that too. And that's true, man. Everything, all the things you did in the dark, the secret things, guess what? That's written with a pen of iron, man. And who knows that the Lord, he repented, he erased that from the book, man. Because you never know when the Lord hears your prayers. Because in Daniel, all hell was breaking loose. It took him 21 days, and he was fasting too, just to hear that prayer, right? So you never know. That's why it's important, really, to be praying for mercy. Like you're always praying. But this Daniel chapter 7, verse 10, a fiery stream issued and came forth from before him, talking about the Most High, the Ancient of Days. Thousands ministering to him, 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were open. So the judgment was set. When that gavel come down, the judgment is set. You can't. Hey, right when that gavel come down, you can't do nothing about it. The judgment is set, and the books are open. All your works, everything you was doing, if you was on fire or not, if you blasphemed the name of the Lord or you didn't, man. If you what's called proclaimed the Lord on a housetop and not being ashamed, or if you was ashamed of the Lord, all of that it's in the book, man. And when the Lord come back, there's nothing you can do. It's either you was righteous on the right hand side or you was wicked on the left hand side. And let's see what's going to happen to the people on the left hand side. Verse 11. I beheld then because of the voice of the great words which the horn Salakia, the great words which the horn spake, I beheld even to the beast was slain and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. Because this place is going to get destroyed, man. So if you wicked, you're not really doing what you need to do, guess what? You're going to be in that fiery flame being burnt up, and there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
That's right. That's right, man. Come on, bro. It is right, man. Let's go to the book of Matthew 16 and verse 32. Right? I believe this was Matthew 16:32. Right? Or it's a lot. Matthew 16 and 27. Matthew 16:27. It says, right, and I'm gonna start at verse 26. Hey, I'm gonna start at verse 24. It says, then said Yahweh to his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Right? So because guess what? The Most High is going to render unto every man according to his work. So according to our sufferings, right? Because it takes work to be in this truth. This truth is not easy, right? If this truth was easy, right? Then the path to get to the kingdom would not be called straight. It would be called broad, right? It would be called, something else. But a straight way is a hard way to get through, right? If it was easy to get the kingdom, guess what? A lot of more people will be able to get it, right? A lot of more people will be able to get it. How come only 1/3 will be able to get in? It would be more like 2/3 then, right? 2/3 getting in, and 1/3 will not. No, it's 1/3 getting in, and 2/3 need to be cast into the lake of fire, right? Because what? So we got to deny ourselves, right? That goes into keeping the commandments. That goes into making the videos. That goes into presenting your body as a living sacrifice and being on fire, right? And restricting yourself, right, from your pleasures, right? We got to deny ourselves and follow Yahweh Shah. A lot of people, they don't want to do that, huh? Right? Verse 25. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. Right? Let's keep going. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Right? So don't sell your soul, right? Your soul is precious. Your soul was given to you by the Most High, right? So we shouldn't sell our soul for anything, right? What gain is it to sell your soul and be famous like Jay-Z, Beyonce, right? Everybody knows your name, right? Be famous like Lil Baby, Gunna, right? Young Thug. You sell your soul, right? Now they, yeah, you have the money, you got the women, you got everything that you could possibly want, but now you don't have your soul. You have no way of getting the kingdom, right? So it's no profit. Verse 27. For the Son of Man, here's the point, verse 27. For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his work. You see that? So yeah, hey, Yahweh Shai, every eye shall see him, man. Revelation 1 and 7. Every eye is going to see Yahweh Shai. He's going to run unto every man according to his work, right? Going to come up, right? And he's going to see the wicked, cast them down, right? Thunderbolt, done. You know what I'm saying? Or however the Most High is going to do it, right? With his son, Yahweh Shai.
If the Lord going to tread the wine press, man. But this is the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldst give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldst destroy them which destroy the earth. So when the Lord comes back, hey, the Lord is going to come back as a busy man. Your house is going to come back. He got to destroy nations. He got to deliver his people. He got to set up a whole dang on kingdom, right? I'm not saying it's hard for the Lord, but the Lord, hey man, he's on a clock. He's on a move, man. Right? Ain't no playing around. But the thing is, it's a just balance. The Lord, the same time he's going to deliver the people, his people, and reward his servants and his saints, at the same time he's going to be giving judgment out to the wicked who wasn't keeping the commandments, who wasn't putting in their brick in this thing, man, who wasn't helping building up the temple. That's why we read even Nehemiah was putting hands on people, man. When you read First Esdras, you have people trying to hinder the building. Those people are going to get destroyed. These coons out here that's trying to hinder the building, they're going to get put to death. But the people who's building up the temple, they're going to get what's called rewarded, the kingdom of heaven, man. Right?
That's right.
You got it.
That's right, man. Trying to hinder the building. You're going to be put to death, man. Right? Simple as that. You're going to be put to death. All right? And I hope Yahweh Shai take your goddamn head off, man. All right? Oh, it's kind of getting a little. They closing out the video, thumbing it down. And they go to soundbite that, man.
Yeah. Now you're on the news.
Yeah.
Black people, Israelites.
God, right? Right? Hey, we don't give a damn, bro. Put me to death, man. All right? So I can die for Yahweh Bosh and Yahweh Shah. All right? But it says what? Let's get this. Jeremiah 32. All right? So Jeremiah 32. All right. Let's go to Jeremiah 32. I'm gonna start at verse 16. It says, now when I had delivered the evidence of the purchase unto Baruch, the son of Neriah, I prayed unto the Lord, saying, our Lord God, behold, thou hast made the heaven and earth by thy great power and stretched out arm, and there is nothing too hard for thee. Right? So there's nothing too hard for Yahweh Bash and Yahweh Shah. Right? He made the heaven and the earth. Right? We're talking about the same being that made the heaven and the earth. Right? Just like the earth itself is just massive, right? And just complex, full of living things and just unexplainable things, right? So we're talking about the being that made that, right? So let's keep going. Verse 18, thou showest loving kindness unto thousands, right? And recompenses the iniquity of the fathers into the bosom of their children after them, right? You see that? So that's another precept for Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. Right? So because Jeremiah understood this concept. You can read that in Lamentations 5 and 7. We have our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities. You know what I'm saying? So the Most High literally would take the children. Hey, you got to pay for the iniquities of your forefathers, and we're the children of those of our forefathers, and we're paying off the debt right now, right? But it says what? Verse 19. The great, the mighty God, Yahweh of hosts is his name. Here's a point. Verse 19. Great in counsel and mighty in work. For thine eyes are upon all the ways of the sons of men, to give every one according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. You see that? So Yahweh Bashmi is going to give according to every man, according to his ways. He's going to give to every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. Right? That's how the Most High rolls. All right, so come, you got it.
And actually, that parable in Luke 16, which I'm about to get about Lazarus and the rich man, kind of goes into the same thing. I'm not going to break it down because that's another topic for another video, another day. And Lord willing, we can hop on that parable, Lord willing. I'm just going to read through it. Luke 16 and verse 19. There was a certain rich man, and that certain rich man is Esau, right? Shalaki, there was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen and fared sumptuously every day. Every day, the so-called white men, they got nothing going on, nothing to worry about. Every day, they living good. Verse 20. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus. And we're the beggar, man. We're Lazarus in this thing. We're poor. We got nothing going on. We're always begging for food stamps, begging for the stimmy, right? Which was laid at his gate full of sores, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores, and his dogs represent the other nations, right? And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. So these two men died, the rich man and Lazarus, the poor man. They both died. But the thing is, the rich man, he was in the grave, right? And the poor man, Lazarus, he went to Abraham's bosom, which is the kingdom of heaven, the promises, right? Verse 24. So basically, the two roles are being reversed, right? And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. Right? So now all of a sudden, when the roles reverse, now what's called the rich man, he won't, mercy and stuff like that when the roles reverse, right? But let's see what Abraham said, verse 25. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. And beside all this, between us and you, there's a great gulf fixed, so that they which will pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that will come from thence. So basically, Abraham's saying that you can't do nothing about it, right? Lazarus, you're gonna continue to live for good forever, and you're gonna be continue living bad forever now, man. You can't do nothing about it. And that's Galatians 6 and 7, man. You reap what you sow, right? But Con.
That's right, man. All right. It's lucky. I was just trying to find this precept, right? Because that flame, when he says that flame, right? Luke 19, that's talking about, right? That's talking about captivity. All right, that's talking about captivity. Because when you go to the book of Deuteronomy, right? Let me just find this precept real quick. All right. So these devils, like, they need to pay, like it says in the book of Deuteronomy, Revelation 13-10, right? That's the classic. They gotta pay. You reap what you sow, right? Shalak, yeah. All right. Go ahead, say something to find this public show.
So yeah, hey man, you reap what you sow in this thing. Like the brother put in Job chapter 4, I believe verse 8 as well. You plowing iniquity, something like that, you're gonna reap the same as well, right? So the rich man putting us in slavery, all hell breaking loose, getting shot down the streets. The Lord gonna have his roles reversed. And then we're gonna be in the kingdom of heaven, living good, having no worries. We're gonna be living nice, man. They're gonna be our slaves. Next thing you know, they're gonna be begging, man, begging that they get out of slavery. It's gonna be hot in Jerusalem too, right? It was actually kind of easy over here. They're gonna have it worse, right? I believe the average temperature, like I saw before, I was watching this thing on YouTube. It's like 106 degrees on the average, right? So they're gonna have it bad.
Damn.
You got it.
Calm. Yeah, calm, man. Getting sunburned. It's like my dad says, there's not gonna be any sunblock in the kingdom. There's not gonna be any sunblock in the kingdom, you saw. All right, so you're gonna have to deal with that. Right, but Khan, I found it through the Spirit. This is Deuteronomy 4:20. But the Lord have taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt. You see that? Right? It says to be unto him a people of inheritance as ye are this day. So that iron furnace, right? Or that flame, he says, Abraham, help me, I'm tormented in this flame. You know, Esau trying to cry, right? Hey, your time has come, Esau, right? But that flame is metaphorically talking about captivity, because that's the iron furnace. When you're in hell, right? You're in this not in the spirit, like, okay, there is no hell down there. But when you're in captivity, that can be synonymous with like you burning up in a flame, because it's torment. You know what I'm saying? It's torture. It's like you burning up in the flame. So that's why it's Egypt, or when we were in Egypt, that was called the iron furnace. You know what I'm saying? Come on, that flame, man. Yeah, I just want to get that precept. Yeah, let me get another precept real quick, going into shall render unto every man according to his work. And this concept is just found throughout the scriptures everywhere. I just be reading this, like, see, another precept. This is Sirach chapter 16:12, right? Sirach 16:12. It says, as his mercy is great, so is his correction also. He judgeth the man according to his works. So that's simple, you know. He judges according to every man. He judges every man according to his work, right? And on a little more deeper level, the Most High made you do that amount of work. Let's say it's a good amount of work. He made you to do that good amount of work so he can give you this amount of this reward. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, it's kind of deep, but you know, on that level, the Most High will cause you to do stuff in order for him to give you that reward, right? So come.
I was kind of hoping you would get it before me, but I'll hop into it then. In Luke chapter 19 and verse let me see. I really don't want to be long with it, but this whole parable is good though. Let me see. I just want to get straight to the point. I'm gonna jump here and there, here a little, there a little. So I'm gonna Luke chapter 19 and verse 12. He said, therefore, a certain nobleman went to a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. Yahushua. And he called his 10 servants. And those 10 servants are a great amount of servants, right? It's not just 10. You got more than 10 servants here in Babylon. Even in the Bible, there's more than 10 servants, right? And delivered them 10 pounds and said to them, occupy till I come. So you got to know how to trade in this thing. You flipping, you trading, doing what you need to do. If you're a good businessman, you know how to take what you got. I remember doing this thing, the side hustle, you know, back in the world. And you know, it was what's it called? Yeah, we were doing that. We had to, you know, what's it called? Salaki, bear with me. But kind of, we had to basically we had to gap money, then we had to flip it. We had to, you know, make more and stuff like that. I really don't know how to explain it, but you know, it was what mailboxes and stuff like that. So if you know how to do that, you'll make more money, and more money. The same thing in this truth. The talents that you have right now, you got to flip those talents and get more talents. So let's say you got what's called your 2 talents might be reading and studying. Then you got, you're reading and studying. Next thing you know, you flip that. Now you're reading, studying, making videos and teaching, right? So you got, keep going in this thing. But verse 14. No, I don't want. I'm gonna jump down to verse 16, and it reads, "Then came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 10 pounds." Now I'm gonna start at verse 15. Salakia. And it came to pass that when he was to return, when Yahushua comes back, having received the kingdom, then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. Same thing with the CEO, man. Who you working for? He wants to know, what's your if he was diligent, what type of work you put in and stuff like that. So when the Lord comes back, he wants to see if he was actually putting in that work, man. Right? So let's see what happened. Verse 16. Then came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 10 pounds. So this man right here was diligent, man. He had 1 pound, he flipped it and make it 10 pounds, right? Verse 17. And he said unto him, Well, well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in a very little, have thou authority over 10 cities. So you over here, you working, you on fire. The Lord gonna make you ruler over 10 cities. But I'm gonna jump straight to the point. Um, Let me see. Verse 20. And another came, saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. For I feared thee, because thou art an austere man. Thou takest up that thou layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow. So this man, he knew about the truth, but he didn't do nothing with it. He didn't do nothing with it. So let's see what the Lord did. He was slothful. Verse 22. And he said unto him, Out of thy own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant. Thou knewest that I was an austere man, taking up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. Wherefore then gavest not thou my money into the bank, that at my coming I might have required my own with usury? And he said to them that stood by, Take from him the pound, and give it to him that hath 10 pounds. And he said unto him, Lord, he hath 10 pounds. For I say unto you, that unto every one which hath shall be given, and from him that have not, even that he have, shall be taken from him. Straight like that. So you're not putting no work in, the Lord, he going to jack you up. But you putting that work in, the Lord going to give you what you was putting in, man.
That's right. Gone. That's right, man. That reminds me of the precept, right? This is Matthew 10, right? Verse 10, right? It says, More script for your journey, neither 2 coats, neither shoes nor yet staves, for the workman is worthy of his meat. All right. Meaning, hey, the workmen, they're worthy of that reward. They're worthy to eat of the fruit of their labor. They're worthy of that. Why? Because they're putting in the work, right? Sweating, right? Right, digging in the ground, right? Planting the seeds. You know what I'm saying? Putting the fertilizer there, shoveling it, right? Hoeing the ground. Hey, that's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? That's why people that, like these farmers, right? They're just strong. You know what I'm saying? Because they, ever since they're little, that's what they've been doing, man. Right? It's literally a workout, right? Plus the sun, right? Plus the you got to deal with the land. You know what I'm saying? Like the seasons, right? You got to be out there in the cold and when it's raining, right? When it's hella hot, when it's hella bugs out there, you got to deal with the bugs, right? Et cetera, et cetera. Hey, farming is not that easy. You know what I'm saying? Farming and agriculture, and you gotta be. Hey, look, you gotta know stuff too. You gotta be smart to be a good farmer, right? You gotta know about the different plants and animals and the fertilizer, et cetera, et cetera. Right? People think it's easy. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. So the workman is worthy of his reward, man. Right? So if you're not putting in any work, you just chilling. You just the man just sitting in the car, right? The AC on. That's Esau nowadays, right? He's just sitting in his truck, the AC on, tinted ass windows, right? Can't even see it. It's black, right? The windows, because he can't be out there. That's why he has his car out there, right? They're doing all the work, the hard work, and he's just in there, right? Checking on Instacart, checking on the slaves, right? That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, con. So if you're gonna be like that man in this truth, right, or that man in general in this world right now, you're not putting in any work. You're gonna be put to death, right? Con, you got it.
Let me see. What precept I want to get? I can get this one through the spirit. Let me see. I want to see what we start at though. I'll start it. Yeah, I'll get this one. Luke chapter 13. Let me see. I'll start at verse 24. Strive to enter in at the straight gate, for many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able. Man, dang. That's like Matthew chapter 25 and verse 1 on down. A lot of people want to enter into the kingdom of heaven, but won't be able to. Well, let's see why. Verse 25. When once the master of the house is risen up and have shut the door, and you begin to stand without and to knock at the door, saying, Lord, Lord, open unto us, and he shall answer and say unto you, I know you not whence you are. So right, the Lord, he going to shut that door. That the same way the ark was, it was shut, same way the Lord going to shut the grace period. He going to shut that door. Right when all hell break loose, wherever you put out or wherever you put in, that's what you're going to get. Right? There's no more repenting in that day. There's no more fasting. You're not going to be teaching when all hell break loose in the third trumpet, man. Right? Verse 26. Then shall you
Hmm.
begin to say, we have eaten and drunken in thy presence, and thou hast taught in our streets. But he shall say, I tell you, I know you not whence you are. Depart from me, all you workers of iniquity, man. Dang, straight like that. Just because you teaching, just because you're doing all these things too, he wasn't sincere. And the Lord said, depart from me. Verse 28. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth when you shall see Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and all the prophets in the kingdom of the Most High, and you yourself thrust out, and they shall come from the east and from the west and from the north and from the south, and shall sit down in the kingdom of the Most High. And behold, there are there are last which shall be first, and there are first which shall be last, man. Dang, man. So on another level too, yeah, being on fire and stuff like that. But you gotta be sincere in this thing. You have to have clean hands. I remember a certain wise brother, he was saying on his video, all these people that you looking up to and stuff like that, just because they're mighty teachers, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors, right? They can be that what's it called? That built was that foundation that's made out of sand. Right when you touch it, it falls, it falls apart. They're not made with goodly stone, right? So you never know who in that day. The first going to be last, and the last going to be first. Because usually the people who's not seen, those are the people who the most are dealing with. But come on.
Calm, man. Right, man. Got this in the book of Job, chapter 34. Right, this is Job 34 and verse 10. Therefore, hearken unto me, ye men of understanding. Far be it from the Most High that he should do wickedness, and from the Almighty that he should commit iniquity. For the work of a man shall he render unto him, and cause every man to find according to his ways. You see that? So the Most High is going to render unto every man according to his ways. The work of man is what the Most High is going to render unto you. Your work, right? It's not about what you could have done, right? It's not about what you could have done. It's about what you have done, right? And what you continue to do, right? You have let's say you're Israelite, right? That's maybe not in this truth, but it's considering it. It's not about if you heard the truth. It's about if you actually came in and did the works, right? The Most High is looking for that faith and that for that works, and the brother said, also for that spirit that's without God, like it says in the book of Psalms chapter 32 verses 1 on down. The Most High takes pleasure in a man and a woman and whose spirit is no God, right? God is the seed, right? But it says what? For the work of a man shall he render unto him, and cause every man to find according to his ways. Yea, surely God will not do wickedly, neither will the Almighty prefer judgment. Right? So the Most High is not going to pervert judgment. He is a just God. He loves judgment. He loves justice. All right, let's get this precept real quick. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 30. Right? Go to Isaiah 30 and believe verse 14. All right. No, it's like not 30, not 14. All right. Isaiah 30 and verse 18, right? Come on, all praises. Isaiah 30 and 18. And therefore will the Lord wait that he may be gracious unto you, and therefore will he be exalted, that he may have mercy upon you. You see that? For the Lord is a God of judgment. Blessed are all they that wait for him. So the Most High is a God of judgment. He loves judgment. He loves justice, right? And he's a right and just God. All right. So if that's the case, he's going to render unto you according to your work. Right. So come.
Man, we can get this real quick. In Matthew chapter 7. Let me see. I'll start verse 16. I'll start verse 16 and it reads. This all good. I don't know where to start at. I'll start verse 16. You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? So you're going to know a man by his fruits. He's putting in, he's on fire. He's going to be bearing good fruits. He's knowing the precepts. He's humble. He's sincere. He's speaking in the Hebrew tongue. You can just tell by his spirit, right? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. So when the Lord come back, he gonna root up those evil tree, man, that evil tree, and destroy it and cast it into the fire. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire, wherefore by their fruits you shall know them. So the Lord, by your fruits, the Lord, because the Lord, he walked in the midst of the garden, right? We represent the trees and stuff like that. He's walking to and fro in the midst of the garden, man. That's in Luke chapter 13 and verse 6 on down, right? He's looking at all these trees. If you're not bearing good fruit, he's going to cut you down in this thing. So wherever you put it out, man, Lord willing, it's on fire, you being good, you sincere, and you bring forth what's called righteous, juicy behind fruits, man, for the Lord to eat and chew off of. But Con, you got it.
Con, that's right. Right.
You can get it. You got it. You got it.
You can keep going if you want.
Con, actually, let me keep going real quick. I don't want to be too long-winded, so I'm going to jump down to verse 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon the house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. So, you got a lot of people who just hear the words of the Lord. They got the tribe of Judah with the lion face emoji in their bio. They still, for the sisters, they still wearing pants. Their brother's still smoking a blunt. All hell, you got no fringes on, right? All hell breaking loose. But that person, he so-called poor, right? Yeah, he still got fringes on. He's still going out there to teach, even though no one wants to listen to him. No one's watching his videos and stuff like that. Hey, man, I'm telling you, hey, watch out for those brothers, man.
Con, that's right, man. Con. Like the brother was saying, the Most High is looking at our fruit, and our fruit symbolizes our works. All right, our fruit symbolize our works. All right, let's go to the book of Matthew. All right, yeah, we can go to Matthew. Let me see. If I can't find this, then I'll go to Matthew. Yeah, Tom. Yeah, we can just go to Matthew. Right. Let's go to Matthew 3. Right. Matthew 3. Let's go to all right. Matthew chapter, it's like I'm in 4. Matthew chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, and now also the axe is laid onto the root of the trees. Trees symbolize people. All right, in the scriptures. Trees symbolize people. Therefore, every tree which bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. So a tree that's not bringing forth good fruit, guess what? You're going to be cut down and you're going to be cast into the fire. That fire is going into, on a one-fold to that lake of fire that's coming, right? You're just going to eat a missile sandwich, right? Boom. Eat a missile sandwich, man. Get the hell out of here. Unprofitable, right? It says what? Therefore, every tree which bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. So we got to make sure that we're not this tree that's not bringing forth good fruit, right? Because you got a lot of trees out here. There's a lot of trees. right? You got ears to hear, but they're not bringing forth that good fruit. There's only a few trees that's bringing forth that good fruit. I indeed baptize you with water unto repentance, but he that cometh after me is mightier than I, whose shoes I am not worthy to bear. He shall baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire. That's talking about Yahushua, right? That Holy Spirit, he's going to baptize his elect with the Holy Spirit and with the fire. The fire is going into the adversity, right? The hell that they got to catch, right? Whose fan is in his hand, and he will thoroughly purge his floor. What does that mean? His fan is in his hand. Meaning, back in the ancient world, or even today, they'll have this fan thing, right, to blow air. What? How do you create fire? Right? Let's look at the formula for fire. Right? Hey, chemistry 101. Chemistry 101. Right? Hey, Esau, he's getting mad. Right? He's getting mad because, you know, you got educated black men. Like, hey, we're not black, we Israelites, right? But it says what? As long as there is enough fuel and oxygen, the fire keeps burning. Fuel plus oxygen from the air, combustion products, mainly CO2 plus H2O plus heat energy, right? So fire, right, is created. You need oxygen for fire, right? So, use whatever component you use, like a match, firewood, right, et cetera, et cetera. There's different types of fire, like a natural fire, and I believe that like a fire on a stove, that's different. That's from gas. But you get the point. And with any fire, you need air, right? So that air, that fan, it says whose fan is in his hand, right? And he will thoroughly purge his floor. That goes into what? The Most High being, or Yahweh Shah being able to turn up your heat and turn it down, right? Because adding air, right, to that fire will only increase it. You know what I'm saying? That's why, when you have a fire on the stove, they tell you to cover it with a blanket, throw some powder on it, right? And stuff like that. Don't kindle the fire and don't increase the oxygen. You got to completely take out the oxygen out of the fire, right? And gather his wheat into the garner, but would burn up the chaff with unquenchable fire. You see that? So come. You got another preset for that? Or?
For that, I can get this real quick. Let me see. John chapter 15 and verse 2. Every branch of me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. So you're bringing forth fruit in this thing to work on purge you. Like it says in Luke chapter 19, I believe, you're going to start increasing more in this thing, getting more talents. But if you're not increasing in this thing, you've been lukewarm, the Lord going to cast you off and destroy you. Right? But that's it on that.
I got this in Ephesians 6 and 8, right? Knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth, the same shall he receive of the Lord, whether he be bond or free. See that? So if you do good stuff, hey, you're going to receive that back from the Lord, right? And he can pay you back any way that he wants to. You know what I'm saying? He can pay you back any way he wants to, right? So, we got to trust in the Lord that he is good and that he is a rewarder unto them that diligently seek him. Like it says, let's go to the book of Hebrews 11 and 6, right? Now, that is to say, don't use the Most High like a vending machine. A lot of people, that's what they do, right? Wait, I'm praying to him. I'm keeping the commandments. How come nothing's going good for me? Wait, hold on now. I'm studying. How come my woman left me, right? No, you can't use the Most High like a vending machine, right? You can't do that. It's not fair, right? The Most High, he can give that to you, right? He can give something good unto you. Does he have to? No. He's not obligated to give you anything. He's not obligated to give me anything because we're just dust and ashes. But out of his love and out of his mercy and loving kindness, right? He gives us good things. He even gives evil men good things, right? That's what it says in the book of Matthew, I believe, 7th chapter, right? Or Slack, Matthew 6. It might be Matthew 6, right? Or 7, not sure. But let's go to Hebrews 11:6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. See that? Con.
Okay, you got it.
Con, yeah. Right. Real quick, let's get that precept I was talking about. Let's go to Matthew, right? 7 and verse right. Let's go to Matthew 7:11. If ye that do evil know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good things to them that ask him? Right? And the Most High, he also he also gives good things unto evil men and women. And he doesn't have to, right? But he still does that. You know what I'm saying? So how much more those that actually do as he says? You know? You got another precept? Or no, come. Yeah, I got this one precept real quick. Let's go to Proverbs. All right, I believe this was in Proverbs 24. Proverbs 24 and verse 12, right? If thou sayest, behold, we know it not, doth not he that pondereth the heart consider it? So the Most High, he ponders your heart. He thinks about your heart. He knows your heart, right? Yeah, God, he knows my heart. Yeah, the Most High knows your heart. Yes, he does, for sure. He knows your spirit. He knows what you're thinking right now. He knows exactly every word that you said, right? So, of course, he knows your heart. But it says, doth not he that pondereth the heart consider it? And he that keepeth thy soul, doth he not know it? He knows everything, right? You can't hide anything from the Most High. You can't go into the shower. All right, I'm alone in my thoughts. Not just thinking about lust and concupiscence, right, and lasciviousness. The Most High knows all of that, right? It says what? And he that keepeth thy soul, doth he not know it? And shall not he render to every man according to his works? Right? That's a rhetorical question being asked. Isn't the Most High going to do that? Right? He's going to render unto every man according to his work. That's bad for some people, but that's good for a lot of people, right? Or actually the other way around. That's bad for a lot of people, but good for some people, right? That's a statement that could go both ways, or it could go this way, it could go that way, right? If your work is full of good works, if your history is full of good works, then that's what you're going to get from the Lord. But if your history is full of bad works and you never turn your life around, that's what you're going to receive the Lord, right? So come.
I can just real quick. This book of Sirach, chapter 29 and verse 11. Lay up thy treasure according to the commandments of the Most High, and it shall bring thee more profit than gold. And you can link that up with Matthew chapter 6 and verse 19 as well. So you laying up treasures, on the right hand side, in the heaven. Hey, I got that pulled up right now. I'm gonna just read this real quick. Matthew 6 and 19. Lay not up. That's a spirit thing. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So you gotta lay up things, you gotta sow things in the spirit. Because your spirit, everything that's in the spiritual realm, that's gonna be here forever. Everything that's in this flesh, on the earth, everything you see is temporal, is gonna get destroyed. Right? So you want to reap things, you want to sow things in the heavens where it's gonna be everlasting life, right? For
That's right. I'll praise the Most High. And Shalom Des Brown, real quick. Let's just answer this question real quick. Shalom Kings, Luke 3 and 6 isn't necessarily saying that everyone will receive salvation, but more so that they will see the works of the Most High, right? Yeah, that's right. Let's go to Luke 3 and 6 real quick. And all flesh shall see the salvation of God. Con, that's not saying that everybody will be saved, right? Because we understand that certain nations are not going to receive salvation, right? Or any nation outside of Israel, salvation is not meant for, right? That's Acts 5 and 31. And, for Esau, the Most High hates Esau, so there's no way he's going to be able to save him, right? Or there's no way that he will save him along with Israel, right? We know that salvation is what being saved from your enemies. So so being saved from your enemies, that's Israel being saved from their enemies, not everybody being saved from. It doesn't make any sense, you know what I'm saying? And let's go to Isaiah 62 and verse 11, right? Here's your precept for that. Behold, the Lord hath proclaimed unto the end of the world. So everybody will know the salvation of Israel. That's what that means. Proclaim unto the end of the world, right? Say ye to the daughter of Zion, behold, thy salvation cometh. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. So yeah, Khan, you got precepts.
Come, this is wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 2. And that also it's basically saying that when the Lord comes back, everybody going to see his power, his glory with the holy angels and stuff like that. Right? That's also what it's talking about. This
Right.
is wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. Because that's God going to crack open. Everyone going to see everything, man. Right? So that's twofold to it. That's twofold. But
That's right. Yeah, everybody's going to see our salvation. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, we're part of that number. When you go to Revelation 1:7, we know that classic precept, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierce him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, amen. And so we know that when Yahweh Shah comes, he's going to also deliver his people, right? So that's the salvation, and everybody's going to see that. Doesn't matter if you're an Israelite, doesn't matter if you're a heathen, everybody's going to see it. Is everybody going to receive it? No, right? But everyone is going to see it, right? I'm just thinking of another precept. Con. All praise to the Most High, King. All right. If you got any other questions, man, shoot. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. All right. Con. Yeah. And that's what, Christians, they try to, use these certain scriptures, twist them. All flesh. Hey, I'm going to give you another precept that they try to go to, right? Real quick. Let's go to Titus 2:11. Madness. Gone. Isaiah 2 and Slakia. Titus 2:11. For the grace of God that bringeth salvation hath appeared to all men. So that doesn't mean that the grace has appeared to every man. It just means that the salvation, the salvation has appeared, meaning everybody knows about it, right? It has appeared unto them, but that doesn't mean that it applies to them. It doesn't mean that it applies to everybody, right? Con, and we brought out that precept before. What's another precept? Con, let's go to Baruch 4 and 24 real quick.
After you do that, I want to touch on something in Titus chapter 2 as well to cut that.
Yeah, con, of course. Let's go to Baruch 4 and 24, right? It says, like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, so shall they shortly. So who are the neighbors of Zion? That's any nation outside of Israel, right? So just like how they see us in captivity right now, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our God. See that? So they're going to see our salvation, right? Which shall come upon you with great joy, Slaki, great glory, and brightness of the everlasting. Con, you got it.
When you read Titus chapter 2, well, Titus is going to show you, it's in the same chapter. It's written to for the grace of the Most High that bringeth salvation that hath appeared to all men. They'll try to cut you up with that. Verse 14. I'm going to jump down to verse 14. Who gave himself for us, that he might redeem us from all iniquity and purify us. Verse 14. Verse 14. who gave himself for us, that he might redeem us from all iniquity and purify unto himself a peculiar people zealous of good works. And that peculiar people is talking about the Israelites in Deuteronomy 14 and verse 2. But God, that's Satan, man.
Insane, man. That's right, bro. Just as brothers about to bring out the precept.
Yeah.
And we're the only nation that's called the peculiar people. All right, let's just get that straight, man. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy 14 and 2, like the brother was saying. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all nations that are upon the earth. So that grace is that salvation, that grace is only for the nation of Israel. All right. So yeah, that's a good precept, you know. And so and you can also look at it from this perspective, perspective too. When it says and have appeared to all men, right? If that's literally all men, right? What about Esau, right? Because when we go to Obadiah, okay, when we go to Obadiah chapter 1 verse 18, it says, "And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it." That is not salvation. That is not mercy or grace. Annihilating and exterminating every Edomite upon the face of the earth, that is not mercy, and that is not salvation, right? So has it really appeared to all men? No, right? That's not, that all is not talking about all, right? So like, and let me just demonstrate that all it is not talking about all the time, right? Every time you see all in the scriptures, it's not talking about all, right? Because let's go to the book of John real quick. Let's go to John chapter 21. Right? Go to John chapter 21 and verse John chapter 21 and verse 17. He said unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. So Peter said that the Lord knows all things, that Yahweh knows all things. Does he really know all things? Right? We're about to find out. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahweh saith unto him, feed my sheep. So Peter said that Yahweh knows all things, right? Now, that all is not talking about all, because when we go to Matthew chapter 24, in verse 36, it says, but of that day and that an hour, what is that day? It's talking about when Yahweh comes back, right? But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. So only the Father knows when Yahweh is coming back. So Yahweh is not all-knowing, doesn't know all things because, or every single thing, because he doesn't even know when he's coming back, right? No man knows except for the Father. That's what he said. So that shows you that all does not necessarily mean all the time. You got it. You know the precept, you can bring it up.
That's good. Better break it down.
All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Yeah, yeah. You know, Lord willing that help, brother. You know, if you got another question, you can shoot it, right? Dan was split between all the tribes, right? Couldn't remember the precepts. Yeah, yeah, they were scattered amongst the tribes when you go to Judges. I believe that was the Judges, right?
I believe you can find in Judges. I know when you read Numbers, you know, they was actually numbering Dan, then so forth and so on through time. Dan kind of got scattered, and you know, you don't know who Dan is right now.
Right, that's right.
So a lot of people call themselves Gadites, Judites. Whole time you're a Danite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can read that account in Numbers and as well as Judges. Yeah, but they will have a gate. You know what I'm saying? They will have the gate in the kingdom of heaven. So it's not like they disappeared. It's just they're scattered amongst the tribes right now. We can't really say who's Dan. Right? Because let's go to Ezekiel 48. This is obviously kingdom connotation, right? Talking about eschatology. Let's go to Ezekiel 48 and 32. And at the east side, 4,503 gates, and one gate for Joseph, one gate of Benjamin, and one gate of Dan. So Dan is going to have a gate. I'll praise him. I'll praise. God, don't be hating on the tribe Dan, man. All right. Because guess what? Samson came from Dan. All right. Brother's gonna say Samson was wicked. No, I'm just playing. Hey, that's why we can't mess with these heathen women, man. It takes the best of us down.
That's right.
And while we still on here, let me show this real quick. Don't be messing with the heathen. All right, get with your own nation. All right, especially when it comes to marriage, get with your own nation, man. That's what the scriptures say. All right, that's Ezra 10 and 10, and First Ezra chapter 9 verse 9. Right. It's like it. Let me see this real quick. Right. Or else you're gonna end up like these people, man. Where is this? Right. See that? Hanging out with, hey, I know all these people, right? Hanging out with your enemy. Who is this, man? Right? These are Israelite women, right? Except for her in the back. But these are Israelite women, Issachar, right? Why are you hanging out with these dudes? Right? And they're not so-called dating though. These are like their best friends, right? So-called, hey, your enemy is not your best friend. Your best friend would not put you in slavery, right? Your best friend is not going to do that. All right.
They want to be gangsters too.
Hey, you got to get damn hat backwards, man.
Yeah.
Right? Throwing up the 4. The hell is that? Right? Come on now.
They want to be Jake so bad. I'm telling you, man. They want to be Jake so bad.
Exactly. Right. Hang it, and this is what our nation has come to. Hanging out with your enemy on the Sabbath, Friday night, going to the mall, man. So you wonder why the hell my spirit is vexed? Why when I come back to home from school, man? That's why. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like this. So Lord willing, ever be like that. Oh, Consulaki, we had a question. Can you explain what a concubine is? I don't mess around with multiple women, but I heard people say they have them. You can't trust a So yeah, concubine is just basically a woman, a lesser wife, right? A lesser wife. So real quick, let's go to Deuteronomy 21. Right. Let's go to Deuteronomy 21 and 10. So she's not, because when you have a wife, you have to provide for your wife. You have to love her like you love yourself. And this woman is higher than a concubine, right? And a concubine will be a woman of these other nations that you take into captivity as well, right? When you let's just read it real quick. Deuteronomy 21:10. When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord thy God hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and has a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife. So if you go to war with the nation, we capture them, Remember, the spoils of war also include women, right? So we go to war with them, we win through the spirit. You see a beautiful woman, you go like, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna take her on to I'm gonna take her on to me, right? It says what? Then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails, and she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month, and after that thou shalt go in unto her and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. You see that? So come, um, yeah. So she's gonna be your wife, but it's a lesser wife. She's still technically your wife, because you have laid down with her, and did that, but she is not given the same rights as a wife of your own nation would be, right? A woman of your own nation. Yeah, you had a point precept. So
Yeah. When you read about Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar, Sarah was the wife, but he went to Hagar, and that was like a concubine, a lesser wife,
yeah,
and stuff like that. I'm trying to see where I want to start at. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 20. Dang, it's a lot. This book of Genesis, chapter 21. You can really start at verse 1 for real. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I want to see where I want to start. Let me
con,
see. I mean, I'll start at verse 9. And saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, when she had born to Abraham, mocking, wherefore she said to Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac. Because again, Abraham had a son, had a kid with Sarah and with Hagar, but Isaac was the promised child. Verse 11, and the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. And God said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight because of thy lad, and because of thy bondwomen, and all that Sarah hath said unto thee, hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called. And
mm,
also of the son of thy bondwomen will I make a nation, because he is thy seed. And Abraham rose up early in the morning, and took bread and a bottle of water, and gave it unto Hagar, putting it on her shoulder and the child, and sent her away. And she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. So you can just see who Abraham loved more. He loved Sarah more. He didn't really have feelings like that. Because let me find this one other precept too. Slovakia. Because basically Sarah was trying to what's it called, put Hagar under cruel, hard conditions, working environments, and Abraham said, "Hey, do what you want to do. That's between you and her." He didn't really care. Let me see if I can find this one precept. Bear with me.
con,
Is there another question?
con. Well, you said what?
Slovakia. I think I found it. Hold on.
Con,
Dang. Let me see. Let's see. Uh, yeah, I can't find it. But Lord willing, I can find it before the video ends, though. So.
con. Yeah, and is it expedient to have a concubine right now? Nah, right? You'll have that in the kingdom, right? Lord willing, because Isaiah, like Isaiah 4:1 says, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Right. So, you know,
Con,
yeah, Con. Oh, Con, you got it?
con. This book of Genesis, chapter 16, and verse 4. And he went to Hagar. So Abraham did what he had to do with Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. And Sarai said to Abraham, my wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judged between me and thee. But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarah dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. So Abraham didn't really care. He said, "Hey, do what you want to do with her," because again, Hagar was a lesser wife. Didn't really need her.
That's right. That's right. Con, brother, bring it out, man. Bring it out. Con. Yeah, brother said I got one wife. I'm fine with that. Yeah, you know, how the Lord said, man. Right? How the Lord said. From he said from a garment cometh a moth. You can finish the sentence. I feel like wanting multiple. Oh, Con, you got it, Slot.
I was just saying, even Paul, he even said, let every man just have his, that one wife, man. Because we're in the last days, like the brother was saying, it's not expedient. When all hell break loose, you over here got 10 wives. Hey, man, all hell gonna break loose. You don't have the financial, what's called stability to even take care of them and stuff like that. All hell breaking loose. So that's good that you got that
Right.
one wife. And all praise to the Most High, and Lord willing, it's the right one for you.
Right. Con. That's right. Yeah, brother. You want to make sure that we're not just for like this brother, just like for any brothers. If we want to have, because it's not a sin to have multiple wives, right? It's not a sin to do that. It's just not, it's not expedient right now, because like the brother said, we living in the last days. But if the Most High has that go that way, you could do that. You just have to provide for them, right? You got to make sure, right? Like it says in the book of Exodus, and that could be hard, right? That could be hard. You got to count the costs, right? Go to Exodus real quick, 21:10, right? It says, if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. You see that? So you gotta give her food, water, raiment, right? Financial stability, etc., etc. Um, uh, do benevolence, like it says in 1 Corinthians 7:3. The husband render unto the wife benevolence, and likewise unto the wife unto the husband, meaning what? That laying down, the laying the laying down, right? So come. This is a short Q&A. The brother is going over time. He has camp early in the morning, but he's staying on for a little bit longer. All praises to the Most High. So all praises to the Most High. Con, all praises. So if you got questions, shoot your question if you want. Right? If we don't know it, then But let's go to Proverbs 15:8, right? It says, not Proverbs 15:18, right? Oh, hold on now, Slovakia. Proverbs 15:28. The heart of the righteous studieth the answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. So the heart of the righteous, we study the answer. You know what I'm saying? We study in order to answer questions, right? Because that's what teachers do, right? If we want to be a teacher, we got to be able to know enough to answer questions. You can't be a teacher if you can't answer questions, right? That's what teachers, they invite questions. Why? Because they know what's up, right? The teachers, at my school, some of them, they get mad if you're not answering, asking any questions, man. They get mad, right? They say, so everybody knows, how they be, bro. So everybody knows how to do it. Yes. So there should not be any questions, right? Right? That's what they say. You know what I'm saying? They're inviting questions. So we should be like that too. In its truth, we should be confident enough to say, let's do it, Q&A, right? But then again, you know, scriptures is a lot. It's a lot.
God.
Yeah, so yeah. It's a lot in here. All right, yeah. If there's no more questions, Khan the water. Khan, all praise to the Most High King. All praises. Yeah, Khan. If there's no more questions, we'll give it until 1:32. So when it strikes 1:32, then we're gonna end the live stream through the spirit. I'll bring out closing. So much. I don't know. All right, let's go to Revelation. Nah. I'm good on questions. Shalom Kings. Khan, Shalom King. Right, all praise to the Most High. Right, hey man, I'm just bringing up classic Revelation 3:15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou were cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. All right, so we got to make sure that we're on fire. You know, we're on fire. God, you got it.
This book of Luke, chapter 17 and verse 10. So likewise, ye, when ye shall have done all those things which I commanded you, say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done that which was our duty to do. So this is just our duty. Straight like that. You know, all praise to the Most High. We're commanded to do this, and we're nobody but unprofitable servants.
That's right. Calm. All praise to the Most High. So with that, it's Brother Yashala.
Brother AHBAYAH.
Calm, coming back, y'all, with yet another video through the Spirit and Power Yahweh Shema Mashak Yahweh. Lord willing, this is edifying. Shabbat Shalom again. Right? And call on Lord Yahweh Shema Mashak Yahweh. Right? The water for tuning in. Shalom.